All right, recently, Chinese media was reporting that an anonymous online shopper paid 40 million yuan, which is about $5.6 million, for his very own rocket launch. And he won this on the shop, or like he bought this on the shopping platform Taobao. Chinese leading online shopping platform.
You could buy rockets?
Where is he rocketing to?
This was like offered, like a service offered online where it's like, hey,
Who want to buy some rocket?
you could pay for this. You can pay for this and you can paint the rocket whatever you want. You can come visit the launch site. You can like be here and like control it and
Oh, he doesn't get a ride in it though.
no,
Damn, that's just like a charity event.
pretty much.
However you want.
You could personalize it. I mean, this isn't China.
I'm gonna make it a dainty ass dick.
Yeah, you can't. It's China. They're gonna stop it.
You could only paint it our flag. That's the only thing you could do.
You have the option.
two colors, red or yellow.
But you can paint it whatever you want. It just has to be these two colors and look like this.
Yeah.
Variety is the scale of the flag. That's the only variety. Yeah, but here's some
So many choices.
of when it was up for sale. Can you read any of this, Bart? What does it say?
Let me see.
A SpaceX rocket?
One of them says fast, and one of them says fire.
Oh, I thought it was
It's
gonna
a
say
fast
furious. One says fast, the other one says furious.
What was the? Why did the guy want that?
Well, so it's anonymous, so we don't know who paid for this. But the rocket launch will be held in Wuhan.
Wuhan.
So it seems like a lot of people.
They should make it a bat.
Oh my god.
If they have to paint it something, just a suggestion. They don't have to choose my.
It's very good themes there, yes.
Yeah, so a lot of people are speculating that this is all like a stunt to pretty much re-promote Wuhan in a more positive light.
So not that bad idea. No.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Maybe Batman?
So many so many conspiracies about that rocket now gonna be like.
They're shooting fucking Lalona in the air.
Oh yeah.
Man, there's just a lot of shit going on with the conspiracy side of things though, because there's supposed to be like a chemical plant near that area too. Or like they're doing like some kind of chemical engineering stuff.
When this whole thing started happening, didn't they arrest like 2 Harvard teachers?
You did?
Yeah, they arrested like 2 Harvard teachers for working with the Chinese government. They're getting paid independently, and they're reporting everything that they're doing back to China. And they figured them out, and then like the FBI came in and
Why?
it was all about the coronavirus too. So it was like and then they never talked about it again, and they're just like, oh.
There's just a lot of weird, interesting things that are going down like that too. Like I read some shit about U.S. soldiers were out there too, and then they got admitted to a hospital and they were sick.
They were out there because of they were taken in by the Chinese government?
I was like, I just briefly read it really quick, but it was basically.
You're a headline reader.
Yeah, it was just like 2 soldiers went out and they were in that area for personal or whatever reasons. I don't know, but they were admitted into a hospital with a sickness.
I know there's so many conspiracies. The recent one that I heard that I was like, well, that's a different approach, is that this is the beginning of the rapture, and everyone that's dying from the Ronas.
Non-Jesus believer?
No, is that they are going to heaven. They're they're leaving Earth, so that once the rapture starts, they're gonna give us flu shots, and that's gonna be the mark of the devil.
And that's why there's so many Italians dying? So many Catholics?
Because they're Catholics?
Yeah.
No, Chinese Catholics too then. Or Chinese Christians.
If that was true, God sucks. Give you like a really bad disease and this fucking.
I know, right?
You feel sad and alone and all.
Why couldn't it be like the movies where you just like ascend into heaven? You know, if you have the power. Just,
I know, right?
a guy ate a bat and then now we all go to heaven.
I
like,
know.
The way to heaven is.
and everyone like looking at you weird.
I know.
I know.
There's so many weird conspiracies though, but it's so hard because everything is still in development. It's kind of like when 9/11 happened, or just even during the recession, no one really knew what caused it until later they investigated and they're like, oh, it was the fucking stupid ass mortgages.
Like every like 20s, like 1920s, 1820s, 1720s, it's been a plague.
Really?
Every single time.
Every 20 years?
Every 100 years.
Every 20 years after the new century.
Damn. Have you guys heard of the whole Bill Gates theory?
Yeah, they said that he released it because he did a TED Talk about pandemics and how we have to really prepare for one. And they're saying that he has the was it the antibody or the
Vaccine or something?
And he released it into the public so he can make ass loads of money.
What?
So many conspiracies.
It's too evil genius, but what I believe is that we were long overdue for one anyway.
Apparently, 100 years. Yeah, every 100 years.
So literally, if you look back at when all the other pandemics happened, it was 100 years. Like last year, 1920s was a Spanish flu. 1820s was like.
I'm surprised we don't have one more frequently because of how connected we are worldwide. Because there's a lot of things like fucking dengue fever and shit that's going down and it's affecting millions of people, but it gets no, what's the word, like publicity. Like we're not worried of it because most of these diseases are like in Africa or poor countries.
It doesn't affect us. Until it affects us, we're not gonna really.
Exactly, because when this whole shit was going down in China, everyone was like not even taking it seriously.
Well, AIDS is still considered like one of like the viruses that they just haven't found a case for, but that's only spread through that type of
Sexual transmitted, yeah, that's true.
Have you guys seen that meme? It was Magic Johnson. So he's walking, and then he has the face mask, and then I think the text was, "Oh, now you care," because he had HIV and AIDS, and he didn't have any protection the whole time, but all of a sudden he cares about protection now.
That's fucking funny.
Now you care.
because you can get that.
Yeah.
Seems like every decade, according to this timeline of history of pandemics.
Well, like pandemics in terms of like something becomes a pandemic, but not to the scale of like the 1918 flu or something.
was the last
They do
decade.
show how many people died. Like HIV, AIDS is a pandemic.
Well, we had several, dude.
There are a lot of things that are
Since-
considered pandemics.
Since the Spanish flu, we had a lot. Since Spanish flu, we had SARS, MERS,
Asian
swine.
flu, Hong Kong flu,
Yeah, bird
swine, Ebola, MERS.
It just
Were those
doesn't
all
feel as
pandemics, though?
Yeah, it doesn't feel as crazy.
I think once it crosses borders,
It's a pandemic if it's cross. But I don't know. For me, I still consider Asia as one continent group, so it's still an epidemic. I don't know, but then I don't know.
I think it depends on, I forgot how it becomes a pandemic, but a pandemic is when it spreads across borders without just people going everywhere. When it starts popping up in places where there weren't people traveling from that area, that's when it's like, okay, that's when like this.
when they don't like know who it is, like in a direct contact kind of way, right?
Dang, the Spanish flu was 40 to 50 million people.
Dude, it's crazy, man.
HIV AIDS is 25 to 35 million.
Oh my
That's like
gosh.
ongoing.
There's that many people with AIDS?
It's mostly in Africa though.
Starting from 1981 to present time. So that whole span.
If the Spanish flu happened now, though, it wouldn't be as bad because we have much better medicine at the time than what we had back then.
Yeah, they
That's
still
why, like-
believed in fucking bloodletting and shit.
Yeah.
Stupid asses.
So the vaccine for this thing that we have right now,
We don't have a
don't have
vaccine.
there is no vaccine.
That's why it's
It takes like a
dangerous.
year to make.
But no one knows
to a year and a
that
half.
if that would be a vaccine because it's mutating so fast.
They are working on, I did hear about like scientists working on one vaccine to get them all, get all the flus and any mutation.
Really?
Yeah, they're working on like a power.
I think that's hard. I mean, maybe you have to see how it is, but it's like there's things that pop up all the time and like they mutate.
So I mean, you could never get sick from anything.
No, from flu, like specifically like the flu. Like you know how the flu changes, like
So this would be all for all flus or for all diseases?
all flus.
Isn't that gonna be hard? Because depending on which animal you're friendly with, you might get a different flu. Dog flu or the cow flu, and you just can't be friends with this animal. And
That's true because they list the animals here, and it's been so it starts off with like rats, fleas, bacteria,
Those
rats,
black plague.
a lot of them, mosquitoes,
Malaria.
avian origin, so like birds, pigs, chimpanzees, pigs, bats. What are civets?
Man, these animals are dirt.
Camels?
Sick ass animal.
MERS came from bats and camels.
Who the fuck is eating a camel?
It's not from eating. You just gotta be near.
I think like Rush Hour, Jackie Chan ate camel. Did he? Yeah. Camel's hump.
I'm
Yeah.
saying even from the coronavirus, whatever bleeped. It's
Whatever bleep.
yeah, it started in a bat, but then it jumped to what was it, anteater or something, and then it went to humans. So it wasn't even that they
Fucking
ate.
anteater.
It wasn't even that they ate.
They know about these viruses for a long time. That's why, like, especially on these bottles, they have it and everything. And that's like what we have is like like a variation of it. But like I think it's who monitors all these things, but they don't. It doesn't become bad until it's able to jump from an animal to a human.
Oh yeah, they did say, so right here it says possibly pangolins. And pangolins are an African and Asian mammal that has a body covered with horny overlapping scales, a small head with an elongated snout, a long sticky tongue for catching ants and
Oh, that
termites.
sounds like an anteater.
Basically an anteater.
Also called
Why are
a
they so
scaly
diseased?
anteater.
Why the fuck are they so sick all the time? Like the fuck?
I don't think they're even sick when they get it. They just kind of get it kind of like all the young people getting it here, you know? You just,
But it's weird because it's like the same thing like how humans, they just have things where it's like, if I go to an indigenous tribe,
Oh, yeah, like
I can
that
bring
shit, yeah.
things that I'm fine with,
Like how all
but
the
because they're so
African
isolated,
right?
I built the immunity up it from being.
It's like a dirty ass European coming into the fucking
Native American.
Yeah.
yeah, same shit.
Bringing smallpox,
That's true.
all kinds of diseases.
True.
But it's like when it's going from like animal, because animals have a lot more, and maybe because animals can
don't
eat
take
and-
showers and
Yeah, they
stuff.
don't do anything.
Dirty ass
But I think
animals.
it's anything that's like not in the same society, right? So like the bats are separated.
That's why we should continue.
Europeans are separated from-
Globalization is everyone build the immunities for everything.
Eventually,
That's true.
It just takes.
Well, that takes by doing all the
By
bad
the time new diseases come up and viruses and shit, like it's just never ending.
True.
Everybody's so sick, man.